This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and we're getting into the jankier side of things today with Hearts on Fire, a deck built around Chandra, Heart of Fire. This Planeswalker is not on par with modern Magic cards in power level, but when surrounded with a very interesting core, it's a heck of a card advantage engine. The problem with that card advantage is that a lot of our cards are significantly weaker, but it's okay. It's actually a really fun deck. It has good matchups against extreme aggro. So, when playing this on ladder, you really want to come up against decks with cheap creatures. Rogues, mono red, mono white. You want to avoid decks like Food, Yorion. Anything Yorion and anything Food is sort of a I'll resign and see who my next opponent is, to be honest. But what's awesome about Chandra Heart of Fire's card advantage engine is when you get it going with other cards that use the exile area to create card advantage or that make you discard a hand that you may or may not have. So we're talking about Magmatic Chandler, which lets you discard a card to exile a card, exile 2 cards, and play cards from exile. Robber of the Rich. Again, we discard our hand with cards like Chandra Heart of Fire or Ox of Aganis. Robber of the Rich steals things more easily, and you can nab cards from your opponent. And then the mentioned Ox of Aganis, which discard your hand, draw 3 cards, etc., etc., etc. It's actually really fun because when you plus Chandra, you can discard multiple cards to fill the graveyard for Ox. You put 3 cards into exile, maybe you play a few of them, then you bring the Ox back and you have 3 more cards in your hand to start the next turn, and the cycle goes on and on. The Chandra plus ability to deal 2 damage to any target is particularly good against the aggressive decks I already mentioned, but in order to get to where Chandra lives, to do any of this, we have to kill every freaking thing our opponent plays. So we have 4 Spikefield Hazards, 4 Shocks, 4 Scorching Dragonfires, 3 Shredded Sails, 4 Soul Seers, 4 Bone Crusher Giants. Just kill everything. It's a version of Big Red that controls the board and gains card advantage through Chandra Heart of Fire, which it's not Ugin. Ugin is better. Solemn Simulacrum and Ugin are better, but I know many of you long for decks that are not Ugin. And if you want to smash on aggro, especially in like the play queue, it's a pretty good deck to play because you end up against a lot of mono red, and this deck loves that matchup for the most part. You can always get unlucky, but for the most part, you love it. So, I am making this intro from the future. I often make my intros from the future and don't tell you. In this case, I'm telling you because I tried a lot of different cards with the deck and ended up fidgeting a lot. I had Ugin in the deck because I needed more powerful cards, but the problem was you never lived long enough to play it, so Ugin got cut from the deck. Plus, I know people complain about Ugin. I'm usually not one to back down from playing powerful cards because there are crybabies in the comments, but that said, I do try to put on the occasional variety entertainment, which this deck could be considered. I trimmed an Ox here and there, and I tried cards like Cinderclasm, which didn't get the job done. The final version for the day, I've just sided with 4 Shocks, because if the opponent plays turn 1 creature and you play turn 1 land go, you lose most of the time in best of 1, so I think this was the right answer. And plus, Shock is a card that you can play cheaply later. The more cheap spells you have when you're using Chandra and Ox, the better. It pumps up Chandler faster to have a cheap spell. You get more cards with your Robber to have a cheap spell. I think it's the right call. Another card like I think about is Crash Through, which is 1 mana, give everything, trample, draw a card, just to get more cheap spells into the graveyard. But there's nothing else here I really want to cut. Everything else, in many ways, earned its spot. You might want Maze Mind Tome because you think I'm playing Big Red. This is a very different Big Red deck. A lot of the removal is the same, but the card advantage engine is different. We end up drawing a lot of cards through Chandra, Ox, Chandler, Robber. Maze Mind Tome is a way to fill the hand, which isn't what we're necessarily trying to do since we end up discarding our hand so often, and it's slow. It doesn't keep pace on the board. Storm's Wrath is a card I also ran, but it killed too many of my own creatures at the wrong times and hurt my Chandra Heart of Fire. So that's the reason that a lot of the cards that you've already ground your fingers into your keyboard to type me a comment being like, why no this? Because I tried them and they suck and they don't fit the strategy. Easy mode. Got 'em. So, if you want to ask me about another card and why it's not in the deck, Yorion, for example, go ahead. Type me a comment. You may have noticed I never reply to those. Why don't you play this? Why did you play that? Because it's my deck is the generic answer. But there is an FAQ. These are the questions I get asked hundreds of times every week. And there is an FAQ in the description that answers a lot of those questions in more detail, not just the snarky answer I gave you right now. Because I do care, but I can't do it, man. I can't answer every single why not this question. So the best solution is to answer none, quite frankly. Just love ya, but I can't do it. Brain go explodey. Anyway, Heart of Fire. Chandra, Heart of Fire. Are you ready to go see if she's cut out for Mythic? I feel like I had my super tryhardy run, starting with all the decks from the Christmas Carol, with Mono Red, with Rogues, with Food, with Blue White Trawler. I'm going to try to get into some of the more nonsense stuff, but as soon as I lose a lot, you better believe I'll be back with another version of something good. This has good matchups. It's not a well-rounded deck. In fact, I'll show you my cheat sheet. I know some people are going to complain about long intros, but I just want you guys to see what I work off. This is my cheat sheet. It's called What's Good. If a deck doesn't have several of these cards that you see before you, I don't want to play it. Don't send it to me. I don't care. If it's not running a lot of these cards, it's not very good. And the problem with the deck we're going to play today is probably that its only card is Bonecrusher Giant. We tried Ugin. It just didn't fit with the engine. So that's probably... And, that's how you kind of know that you're memeing. You're just goofing around a little when you don't have enough cards from this sheet, which, by the way, kept at 69. Nice. And, yeah, that is my cheat sheet to what's actually good. I honestly resent Embercleave, Zenith Flare, and Flourishing Fox a lot, and Fervent Champion. But you gotta be real when you're talking about a format. Port 730. I am ready to burn some things. I don't know. Are you an aggro mage? You taking a mulligan? Not a lot of signs. Not a lot of signs. Just hoping these Dragonfires hit something and Chandra's card advantage machine takes over. And we're off. Fire 1. Actually, let's see if the opponent plays the Luminarch Aspirant. Nice and easy. I've been got so many times, right? I get got by cards like Fight is one, and I try to play around everything. Let's see if they've got it. Nope. But Luminarch Aspirant's one they always want to play. Oh my. Okay then. That's fine. How to play it? We can Dragonfire this turn, they sacrifice. Then we can hazard Dragonfire the next turn. I think my dogs are playing upstairs. I've got 2, an 8-year-old and a 11-week-old, so they're probably going at it, getting excited. There's no reason to take 2 damage here if I fire a Dragonfire, so let's do it here. Maybe the opponent doesn't want to give up the Savior, but nope. Easy save. And no other creature, just 2 cards left in their hand off the mulligan. So you're telling me there's a chance. Skyclave Apparitions, likely. Oh, looky there. It's another feisty doggo. Get exiled. We can guess that the opponent has a Lurrus, and they've already got 1 Selfless Savior. I guess I still need to kill this as well, but maybe we hold it for a turn? No, we want to be able to pump Barons next turn if possible. And just about any removal spell I draw can kill Valuris, or kill something, I should say. It might not kill Valuris on time, but we need to do it at instant speed. The Bone Crusher Giant's perfect. Alright, let's charge up. Hearts on fire! Do it! Frickin' do it. Your face. Okay, the fireball that comes out of Chandra for the 2 damage, it's the weakest fireball in the history of the realm. It looks like a weird ribbon that she's throwing, but the card is powerful enough to induce a scoop phase out of mono white. Well, here's one of those awkward 2-ox hands, but there's so much removal, I think it's a keeper. Are you mono red? Leading on the Shatter Skull, more likely to be Gruul. Let's hope for a Brushfire Elemental or an Innkeeper. Thank you. It must be my birthday. Pew! And we have the Soul Seer for their Love-Struck Beast or whatever they're going to bring. I don't know if we should hold this or not. We probably need to cycle it, just to hit our land drops. It's very helpful against Embercleave, but I'm too nervous that this draw is just going to turn into mono 5 drops and 8 drops. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to need a land. Gonna need a land. I play many, but I had to use one as a removal spell. I don't think anybody would debate that was required. There's 6 5 drops in the deck and 2 8 drops. We've drawn half of them in our opener. It's brutal. Alright, Mammoth down. Keep killing those critters. They didn't play a land, so maybe they only had 1 left and they wanted to make absolutely sure they could play it. Brush fire after I played the cave. No! They do have a land this turn, so they add either the brush fire or land in hand next turn. Chandra! Hearts on fire! Okay, going straight to the higher register, like the last verse of the song, is a mistake. Let's just go, Drago! Maybe that's fine. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You got a Bone Crusher Giant. You're gonna poke Chandra. Please don't Questing Beast, though. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so we play Crawling Barrens. We plus to Chandra. We discard 3 cards. That takes us up to 7 in the graveyard. That is not enough to bring an Ox back. But I do want to hit a removal spell for this Giant. And we're close to bringing Ox back. Ooh, that did not go well. That went poorly. That was cringe. Now we're a victim of the Great Henge or the Embercleave. They do have 4 mana to pump the Barrens, what the heck. If they do kill the Chandler and the Chandra, we do get an Ox, right? Right. So, I mean, take 2, you filthy animal. Now, will they attack me for 9 or will they kill the Chandra? Chandra's 3 new cards. You might want to do something about that. But who knows? The last 3 cards weren't that great. You know what I mean? Deep burp, deep burp. I guess I'll attack the Planeswalker. Down with your Mythic. That, all things considered, that could have gone a lot worse. And now we've got this play. Hold on. 9 cards in the graveyard. 8 other cards. Let's cycle the Sails so that we don't have to exile the other Ox. Pays off a bit. Everything can go but that Ox. We might want it. It's not unreal to double Ox. No removal. I guess I'll play this Robber. And I could poke for 2. If the opponent had Embercleave, I think I would have seen it last turn. But if they have another Primal Might, I'm going to want the chump block. So I'm not attacking. You think that last card is a land? I think there's a good chance. Hearts on fire! Doesn't get old for me, man. Not for me. Alright. 3 new cards. Perfect. This will be great. Shoot you down. Now we get to steal with Robber, because these cards are not in our hand. Oh! I'm sorry. Did you need that? Questing Beast. Robbing the rich indeed. A mythic taking a mythic. Lands as far as the eye can see for the Gruul Mage, but do they have another Shatter Skull Smashing here? I think they do. You gotta kill that Robber, though. They don't kill the Robber. Did they know what I stole? Did they know what I freaking stole? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could play this untapped attack with Crawling Barrens. We have to pay 3 life for that and play a Questing Beast. Worth it. Thank ya. Thank you very much. Drago! You dead. That's how winning is done! The Rocky quotes will continue until the video is over. Zero v6. Somebody's really doing poorly in Among Us. Let's get him. We have potentially 2 removal spells. Of course. This is mono red. They play mono red. Mono red, attack face, still are dead. Boo! Alright, Giant, you got work to do. Sales, I don't know. There's the Annex, hardened in the Forge. That will meet a scorching end. Let's get rid of, before it enters the battlefield though, get rid of the champion so they don't get the token. And then we say go because it encourages them to play something pre-combat. Alright. They're trying to go to combat, which means they could have an Embercleave. Do I want them to spend their turn casting Embercleave? I can respond by Scorching Dragonfiring the Annex, then untap and Shredded Sails the Embercleave, and they didn't spend their turn deploying a creature. So I think that's really good. Let's see if they go for it. They go for it. Let's let it equip, or at least target its equip. Zap. Gone. 13. They can equip up the champion for free, which is annoying, but we can blow up the Embercleave. Ooh, now we can blow up the champion. This is going very well. We'll say go and see what they do first. Torbran on the stack. So we have to find a way to kill Torbran. I guess Bone Crusher can straight up chill with him. Just try to block him. Hopefully they don't have another Embercleave and an untapped land, right? Destroy target artifact. Not a land for a Chandra. We could cycle. If we miss land, we play Robber. Hitting land drops is super important. We could also... What else could we draw? Nothing to kill this right here, right now. Alright, I'm going gutsy play. It's probably not great. You know, they might have another Embercleave, and if they do, we're gonna need that sales. Changed my mind. Shock. Take 2. Down to 9. No! Not like this, chat. Not like this. This is why you gotta trim those 5 and 7 drops and whatever. Like, the shuffler will always get you. Okay. Well, whatever their cards are, might be... I think Embercleave is one of the only things they could have here. So we need them to miss the untapped land very badly. It's our last chance. No untapped land. I guess they could have a Shatter... No, if they had Shatter Skull Smashing, they'd play it. It's good with Torbran here, just it would have killed Giant last turn. So one of the only cards they could have is Embercleave. And if they don't draw a land, they draw something playable. So, like, what's our best case scenario? An Annex? A Robber? Like, I don't know. Just about everything is bad for us. Ooh, other Torbran. That's something they could have. Rimrock Knight. Could be worse. Other Torbran. That's definitely a possibility. So, we can double Heart of Fire to kill this Torbran, but if they have another one, then that's not the play. We now can hold up Shredded Sails for the Embercleave. So we plus Heart of Fire, we kill Rimrock Knight. We play Robber of the Rich, we say go. We hold Sails for Embercleave, which is the other card they could have. There's the land. If this is the attack... Oh, they're thinking about it. They're thinking about it. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Caught me, I can't see. Caught me. Oh, baby. Hearts on fire, strong desire, rages deep within. Goodness gracious. We're still in it. Let's play a Chandler. Let's plus the Chandra for new cards. Land. No, Scorching Dragonfire we can't play, but a Robber that will rob. And we hit a Torbran. Can't play it though. I wish I had a target. You know what? I can Dragonfire my own Chandra to make this a 4/4. Hype. Such hype. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I did it. Second Torbran. Of course. New cards. Shatter, Skull, freaking smashing, baby. Get wrecked. Here's to the rock, baby. The Heart of Fire does it again. Back to the top 100. Playing the unplayable Planeswalker. Are you not entertained? This hand is on the draw with Robber, which means it will never rob. And it doesn't have great removal. But it has 4 lands in our Chandra. So I'm nervous, but I'm keeping. Yep, why not? Every day is mono red day. Every game is mono red game. It's a mono red world, everybody. We just exist in it. Remember the rich. Now would be a good time to draw some of that removal. The Cinderclasm's good, but it's slow. So we'll play out this robber, which they'll probably kill. We'll threaten to block. And then next turn, the Cinderclasm can sweep them up. Good game. They could have played that untapped and cast our own Soul Seer on the robber, but they chose to Giant instead. Oops. Maybe they realize it, maybe they're just the typical mono red. Absolute piece of garbage. So, what now? Cinderclasm with Kicker available. What's exiled? Nothing they can play. So we can let them go to attacks and see if they make a move. Unless they get another Giant, then I'll have a lot of regrets, but... Okay, they got a robber, which they can then cast, so we'll let them do it. Down to 10 without life gain in the deck. We have to avoid taking any more pokes. Interesting. They're playing around cards they shouldn't think I have. What a gamer. Alright. We'll Soul Seer this. What a trash fire. Alright. Play this tapped. They say good game. Alright. Hopefully I enjoy just shoving this down their throat. They play the Torbrand. I wish I had an easy way to kill it. Right now I don't. If we play the Chandra, that won't work. I think we have to play this and the Giant. And hope for the best. 4 cards in hand, there's just no real chance. Good game? Not really. You're a piece of human garbage. Oh my goodness. You taunting piece of trash. You absolute filth. You wonder why I hate mono red. You wonder why. They only said it 8 times. It must be true. Rogues match. Just mill my oxes and we'll be fine. We will be fine. Here comes Chandler. Here comes Thought Thief. Alright, I haven't drawn any way to kill the Thought Thief. That's really messed up because I run a lot of them. And what the hell? At least we can throw it in the bin with the Chandler. We got lucky there. Way to kill a Thought Thief, please. Thanks. Thanks. Really cool. Really cool, man. Really cool deck. Alright. Cinderclasm. So. Let's see if they deploy another... Alright, I'm going to Cinder it now. Kill that Thieves Guild. Sure. Mana used on their turn defending something that will hit me kind of hard, but in the long run won't be what beats me probably. 4/4 engaged. Shredded Sails drawn. 8 cards in graveyard. Perfect. 4 damage to you. First round of Elk time. Ox time, sorry. Been hanging out with Oko too much. should have attacked first. Oh well. I guess blocking's fine because they're probably going to kill the Ox and I still have a blocker for their Enforcer. Sure. The counter is messing with you, is it? Quickly, drown it in the lock. See what happens. Alright. I will gladly trade this if you have a way to pump this. No? Chandra returns. We'll hold the Bone Crusher Giant. See if the opponent makes a play. Let them commit to some things. There's a thing. No mill from the Thought Thief. If they attack and mill, then we just have to get the Ox back in our graveyard and go nuts. It's just one. I guess you really need that into the story. Ah, another Heartless Act. To get the extra point? Okay, I buy it. Just like you buy your Lurrus. We should save the smashing for the Lurrus. Let's put some pressure on the opponent. Down to 10. And a Giant. Here's Lurie. Let's see if they go for the Thief. I guess either way they can't hold up Drown, but they might have Lofty Denial. Okay, they don't have a counter. And they're still attacking. Okay, dude. How much can I do this for? You're lucky I don't have the frickin' land. Let's see. Do this for 2, and then I get another 2. It's still not enough. They have to block something, though, to be alive. Maybe if I just take out the Lurrus, they don't block? It's possible. It's unlikely, but it's definitely possible. And then they die of the lethal. Yeah, not surprising that. Not a surprising block, but hey, give ourselves a chance. Never, don't attack. Some Rogues players, man. Blocking? Not when I can mill you. Alright, I think they have a Drown. Let's go face here on the Bone Crusher Giant. Didn't say please. You're right, I didn't. Busted. Man, I'm so close to killing them. They must have something to block and stop this. Let's hope it's a Thieves Guild Enforcer. It is a Drown in the lock, boys and girls. Never didn't have it, Rogues Edition. I stomp your face. I bring out the Ox. Gonna kill that frickin' Thought Thief, man. Guess not. Wait, is that lethal? I already attacked. It's not lethal. Alright, then out comes the Giant. And they have to kill me. With a card off the top, which is probably into the story. No, it's not. Die, Rogues, die! Die! On the draw with this hand is probably bad. Robber won't do much. If the opponent comes out 1-drop, 2-drop, we're too far behind. There's the 1-drop. Oh. Okay. Let's keep it. Let's wait and see if they play the Aspirant. Luminarch Aspirant. No? Okay. Nice Spikefield Hazard. I mean, do I just have to run Shock in these decks because that's what the meta is now? Maybe. Maybe. 3 cards in hand. Let's get the Chandler down. We don't want to miss our next land drop. Chandler! I know, it sounds like Chandler. I do that on purpose. I find it funny. Alright, gotta hit the land drop. Robber's doing nothing for us. Hit. So the cool thing is Soulseer. Let's say go, see what our opponent plays, try to wait till attacks. But if they sacrifice the Savior to protect the Linden, it's going to be funny. You're gonna love it. Alright, Heliod. Heliod, we can kill the Heliod. Or we can just turn it off and kill it later. Alright, they pass to attackers. I target Linden with Soulseer. Do you know that the permanent loses indestructible? Do you know, Andrea? You do know. I'm very proud of you right now. I would hate to have to mock you in front of the world. I wouldn't. I would relish the opportunity. Let's go see if we can get an actual land. Again, Robber's not really doing it. Play this. Say go. Use Hazard on Savior at some point. Look at those channelers just turning our bad cards into good cards. Oh yes. Yes, this is fine. I'm in favor. You has no creatures. Cool turn, bro. 3 cards in the graveyard. All I need to do is cast one of these, have it go to the graveyard, and I'll have a 4/4. I'm pretty sure I could target my own Chandler. No, it would resolve. Anyway. I'm trying to decide if I actually want to dig with these or just save them. It's not like having a bunch of removal spells is bad. There is the card I held Field of Ruin for. The Bounty. Huh. We were having so much fun. There was a game going on there. I believable. 2 Chandras in the opener. How could I say no? How could I resist her and her charms? In the burning heart. Bunch of Zoomers out there. Never watched Rocky IV. Don't get any of my references. Whatever, don't watch the movie. Old people boxing, I get it. But soundtrack. It's the soundtrack. The soundtrack to Rocky IV is the frickin' truth. You'll never change my mind. Tangled Veil. 2 Shredded Sails. So important against the Great Henge. So bad in the early game. What will we do? Opponent has acquired a 1/1. I can definitely cycle one of them, right? I think. We hold the Scorching Dragonfire. They might play a Mammoth. Another 5-drop! Why is this happening? Alright, we're going to need all the lands we can get because we're only drawing 5-drops this game. It is decided. There's our Beast, which we can't do anything about here. Let's Scorch this, make the opponent come up with another 1/1. They already played this. And then when... Oh, that draw, though. When they play Henge, we have Sails. Let's give them a chance to play Henge. I would love to Sails a Henge. We have to deal with it sometime. While the Beast can't attack is a perfect time. A perfect time. Uh-huh. Die. Let's see if they have the mana to also play the beast again. Tilt. What a master. A master of magic. I mean, it's just been... and we miss our land drop. That's so good. That's so good. 28 lands. Can't play our 3/5 drops on time. That's so good. Can you tell I'm sarcastic? All right. Do something. Anything. Cool. The other artifact that must be dealt with. Great. Awesome. I'll show you. Now you don't have an artifact. How do you feel? How do you feel? How does it feel to treat me like you do? Alright, Chandra, kill that 1/1 and try to get me some time. If they bust out a third Lovestruck Beast, I will uninstall the game. Easy decision. We have 5 cards in graveyard, so plussing this, we can get up to 8. You need 9, including the Ox, to get the Ox back. For the 2 mana payment, of course. I know. Just do nothing. Just attack and say go. Wow. 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 This is not... It could have been worse, but it's not good. Didn't use the food. Holding on for indestructibility. I think we'll hit a land. I believe in us. We need the cards in the graveyard to get the Ox back. So we need land removal spell. Well, we hit the land. But wow, did we brick on the good stuff. They have 1 card in hand, I have none. Let's go see what we can steal, and if this goes to the graveyard, we get the Ox. Steal me something nice. Wow. RNG is cruel. Well, they missed that I can get the Ox now. That's good. Well, I've seen 6 new cards. Will any of them be the removal spell we're looking for? Scorching freaking Dragonfire, baby. Now, do we hold that? Like, if the opponent activates the Wicked Wolf, I think we hold it. We can also nail a 1/1 if we want to keep the beast from attacking. If the opponent plays land, pumps Mammoth, we can do it in response to that too. I don't know. Lots of things could happen here. Like activating a Crawling Barrens. Now the opponent's thinking. Ooh. They're like, was this a good idea? What if it's not a good idea? Activated. No turning back now. Land drop acquired. So we can block the Mammoth and scorch the Barrens. If we scorch the Wolf, we can't do that in response. Ugh. Okay, we need to let the Barrens through unblocked and chump the Wolf then? What if we target the Wolf now and they sacrifice the food and tap it? Then we block here and Chandra lives. That's the play. That's the play. I could have waited until we went to attacks. I didn't have to do it exactly then. This gives the opponent the opportunity to hit a Lovestruck Beast with the Trail of Crumbs. So, potential disaster there. Okay, we need the cards in the graveyard, so do we cast these Chandlers? I think we're gonna need to. But I think we hold the land because we'll hit another one. Or at least we take the chance. It's worth the chance. Okay, two lands, sadly. But one of them is a Field of Ruin. That is something. The flips haven't been particularly kind. We've had to go through a lot of crap to get a little bit of stuff. And now we lose to Troll King, because we definitely can't get enough traction in the game. Like, the food deck just goes bigger than anything we can do. I would say, in all the decks we could come across, this has to be the worst matchup. And it's probably a terrible time for me to play the deck, because I just published the food video yesterday. It was just a bad choice. I mean, that's just the ultimate embarrassment, isn't it? And we are back for the post-game wrap-up, and it's weird. I find the deck really fun, but I do find any matchup that isn't rogues, mono white, mono red, Gruul. Like, I will go battle those. But anything that goes bigger, any Yorion deck and any Troll King deck, I think those matchups are literally impossible. I think you win one game out of 100 if you're lucky. And I'm letting you know, before you put in comments, I just played this and I got these matchups and I lost every one of them. I try to be honest about that stuff. The problem is, not everybody stays till the end. Which is why it's important to recognize those that stay till the end. You stayed, you were patient, you listened, you hung in there through the good games and the bad ones, although I try to only put games that I find entertaining for some reason. And then at the end, you get, again, the truth. At least the truth I feel. Like, here's what the deck's good at, here's what it's bad at. This deck is great against aggro, it's a really good play queue deck, and it has just some stone cold can't win matchups that are probably, quite honestly, make it not the Mythic deck of choice. That's the honest. Alright, on that note, thank you for watching this. As always, I will see you in the next video. Go listen to the Rocky soundtrack, Rocky 4. For the love of the Lord. And our boxing savior, Rocky Balboa. Just Rocky 4 soundtrack. It's eternal. Hearts on fire, strong desire, rages deep within. Oh my gosh. I could go all day. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.